Hey Maximizers, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Crystal, and I already know from the title of this video, you guys are like, what in the world? Yes. In this video, I'm going to be telling you how I got fired. Oh my God. And that I am so happy about it. I am so grateful that I got fired. Like, who says that? Okay, so what I want to do in this video is I want to break it up into 3 segments. The first segment is going to be context. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story time about how I got to the position that I was at. Second part is going to talk about the beginning of this year, the first 8 months of what that experience was like and how it led to this firing occurrence. And then the third part is going to be, what the heck am I going to do now? What is my plan moving forward? Am I getting a new job? Am I building a business? What am I going to do now that I'm fired and I don't have a job to go to, right? So if you're interested in hearing all about my story of how I got fired, it's going to be a little bit of a long video. This video is not to bash anyone, not to talk bad about anyone, not to talk bad about the company, but to tell my truth, to tell my experience, to tell what I went through to get to this point in my life. So if you're interested, grab your water. I got water. Grab your tea. I don't have tea, but I'm going to drink my smoothie from my tea cup. Grab your wine, grab whatever it is that you want, cozy up and get ready because I have a lot to tell you. So if you're interested in hearing all about my experience and ultimately how I got fired, just keep on watching. All right, context time. So in 2015, I was hired at my previous company as an HR intern. I had just got my master's in HR and I thought, like everyone who goes to school thought, I have the master's degree now. I'm going to guarantee a job. And I had just stopped working as a server because I was thinking, I have 6 figures in student loans, let's just be honest. And I have this master's degree and I'm not using it. I should be using my degree more. I was making good money at the restaurant, but I did not feel fulfilled. And I did not feel like I was using my potential for its greatest capacity. Now, if I take a step back further, let me give you context about me as a person in my life's journey. Ever since I was a kid, maybe like 10 years old, maybe even younger, I knew that I wanted to have my own business. As a kid, you can ask my sister, you can ask my cousins, I was always trying to figure out, how can we make money? I had my cousins drawing on loose leaf notebook paper fans and selling them in the street, and people gave us money. My sister and I started a snowball stand where we were selling snowballs, frozen cups, people call them flips, what have you, but basically Kool-Aid frozen in the freezer. I was selling them to the neighborhood kids and I was selling out. I mean, I was selling candy. In high school, I would sell candy from my backpack. So I have always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and I've always known since I was a child that I wanted and I needed to have my own business. I needed to be my own boss and be in control of my time and my destiny. But I also knew that based on where I came from in my demographic, I needed an education to put my best foot forward. Or at least that's what I thought back then, right? So I did everything right. I went to high school on the straight and narrow. I went to college on the straight and narrow. I graduated. I got my master's. All of that together. But my whole life, no matter where I've worked since I started working when I was 14 years old, I've known that this is not forever. My ultimate goal is to own my own business. And I always used to say, I don't know exactly what my business is going to be, but I am going to have a business, okay? Fast forward to 2015. I graduate with my master's degree, right? As I was telling you guys before I got into this part. And I was working as a server, and that was not fulfilling. I have all these student loans to pay back, and I want to use my degree. I just finished school. I want to use my degree. I want to use my knowledge and everything that I've learned to its highest potential. And serving didn't equal HR. My HR degree didn't have anything to do with serving. I left serving and I started to apply for HR jobs, and I was hit with a rude awakening that you need experience to work in HR, something that I didn't know or realize, that they cared more about experience than they did your degree. So I applied to a bunch of jobs, no callbacks. I went to a job fair, saw my company that I used to work for, and I signed up for job alerts. And then when some HR jobs popped open, I applied. I even applied for an HR internship. So of course, they called me back for the HR internship. I was so excited. I got the internship. At that point, I was on such a high that I said, if this director asked me to clean a toilet, I will do it because I want to prove myself that I'm worthy and that I know what I'm doing and that I'm dependable and I'm reliable, and I'll say yes and I'll help them in any capacity because I wanted my internship to turn into a full-time job, okay? Behind the scenes, the HR director and a bunch of other people were talking about me. Long story short, I got promoted to a talent acquisition coordinator, which is like a recruiting / HR coordinator, after about 5 months. But during that 5 months of being an intern, whatever my HR director asked me to do, I did it. I was pulled in multiple different places with a smile on my face because I'm like, I need a job after this. So whatever I need to do to show value, I'll do it. So I was hired as a HR coordinator, and then it was to a brand new team. So I started to do everything I can to show value so they wouldn't say, oh, we don't really need a coordinator. So I just started doing everything, taking as much stuff as I could from my director to be like, here, I'm here, I have value. And then 3 months later, I was promoted to a recruiter, and that was January 2016. So from January 2016 until Monday, August 19th, I was a sales recruiter, high volume. My first couple years there, I was hiring 20, 30 people for the call center per month by myself. It was very open. Post a job, people apply, bring them into interview, they get hired, they get the job. It was very simple to hire in 2016, 2017, in the early part of 2018. In 2018, things started to change at the company. But I started to change in 2017. I started my recruiting business, Sharp Prospect Consulting, and I really wanted to start to grow my business. But I love recruiting. I love it, but it is not my 100% passion. So I had to ask myself, if I could do something all the time, right, paid or not, what would I love to do that I could turn into a business? And it was couponing. So from 2017 to 2018, I was doing Sharp Prospect Consulting here and there, making a little bit of money, but like my heart wasn't in it. In 2018, things at work were starting to change very drastically, and the ease of hiring wasn't there anymore. There was starting to be a little bit of bumps. It was easy, but not. I also got help in 2017 as far as a partner, someone to help hire with me, which was awesome. Shout out to you. I love you so much. You know exactly who you are. And I started to not have to work so much because from 2016 to mid 2017, I was probably working a good 75 hours per week. I would come home from that job. Kinsley was a baby. I would feed her, clothe her, give her to her dad, and I would be back on my computer working 4 or 5 hours every single night on weekends because I was trying to show value. Thank you so much for this promotion. Let me work as hard as I can. That's why I was able to hire 30 people a month, because I was basically working 2 full-time jobs. I would come home and just work. But in 2017, when I started my business, I completely stopped working from home, besides maybe about an hour per day, which is still a lot. That's an extra 5 to 6 hours per week I was still doing. But I cut back because I wanted to put my energy into my business rightfully. So 2018 rolls around, and I have that conversation with myself, is that I love Sharp Prospect Consulting. I love what I'm doing, helping people with their resumes, helping people find jobs. But that's not what I want to do forever. I want to coupon. I love helping people save money. That is where I glow. That is where I'm the greatest. That's where I have the most expertise. I've been couponing longer than I went to college. I was couponing longer than I've had my master's and worked in HR. So that is what I loved, and I was struggling with how to monetize it. How can I make money teaching people how to save money, right? So randomly, August 19th, 2018, which is so ironic, right? I started my YouTube channel, okay? And life completely changed for me in the past year. So the context I wanted to focus on is that I used to work so hard and hire so many people when I was working full-time as a recruiter in that first year and a half, almost 2 years, because I felt like I needed to prove myself. And then in 2018, I got a raise. I was promoted to a recruiter too, because my hard work was showing. It was showing that I was busting my butt, but I was exhausted, completely exhausted and drained and unfulfilled because I'm working so hard for this company, but not fulfilling what I wanted to do individually, right? So that's the context I want you to have. So now we're going to move into the second part of what I wanted to share with you guys is 2019. So I started my YouTube channel in August, and I didn't have any, like I told you guys in my 1-year video, if you haven't watched it, I'll link it up here. I didn't have any expectations besides I want to try to get 1,000 subscribers in a year so I can get monetized, right? But that 1,000 came a lot faster. By the end of the year, companies have reached out to me like, hey, can we send you a product? Can you do a review? And I didn't expect that. So in December, when I actually exceeded 1,000 subscribers and was able to get monetized, I was like, so it is possible for me to monetize couponing and even outside of YouTube. So that's when I was just like, oh man. That's when my mind reopened up to let's build your business. So to be 100% honest, since the beginning of the year, I have been strategizing, planning, preparing to leave my 9-to-5. So I was already in a mental space of I need to save, I need to grow, I need to build, because this is not forever. I gave myself less than a 2-year timeline to be out of there. But in 2019, life hit me like a ton of bricks. So in January at work, I had taken on the responsibility of training someone, and I put my recruiting needs on the back burner to help train this person because this person was like integral to our team. And I like put everything into it, and it caused me to start to miss my numbers, okay? And then I mentally was having a block. I was kind of in a rut. I was kind of in a bad place, a place that I'd never been in at work because I was always so successful. I was always like hitting those numbers, those high numbers, 20, 30 people in a month. I was doing it with ease, but 2019 came, and then it was just like, my mind was just not in it. My head wasn't in the game. I was like not mentally focused on the job because I saw the potential outside of there. I saw that I was bigger than that place. I saw that what I needed to feel fulfilled was outside of there. And that was just the place that I needed to be to get me where I wanted to go, if that makes sense. But I would say in late March, I was hospitalized. And I had something happen to me, which will be a whole nother video I could talk about another day. But I had to go to the doctor every week for 6 or 7 weeks. I was possibly going to get surgery. So I was mentally messed up. Like I was like, do I have to get surgery? Do I have to not? Is my family going to fly here? Like for those 8 weeks, I was a hot mess because I was just like, what is happening? Then I started to get in performance trouble at work. So I'm on performance write-up. So now it's really like gun to my head. If I don't fill these classes, then I'll get fired. So once I got that first performance write-up in my mind, I was like, I can be let go at any moment. Get ready. So I started to make the necessary adjustments in my life to sustain if at any moment they can let me go. Florida is an at-will state, so I can quit at any moment and they can let me go at any moment. So I started to think like in late April that like, okay, I have to prepare myself mentally for what may happen. So in May, I did a little bit better, fell a little bit. June, I did a little bit better, and then I went on vacation. But then while I was on vacation, I got notified that, okay, your performance is done. We're going to give you a clean slate. You can, meet your numbers, be great. And I was just like, okay. So I was working very diligently in July. I missed a class by one person in July, if I do remember. And then in August, my last class, I had 2 people no show for me. So that put me under the number that I needed. I was still like hustling, bustling, helping everywhere that I can help and doing everything that I could do. And it was just not enough. I guess, like I said, I don't want to talk bad about anybody. My ex-coworkers are absolutely amazing. Some of them are like family to me now because I spent the past 4 years with them. I like grew up with them. A lot of them mentored me. They helped me like just with life. But certain individuals were just not happy overall with my performance. I would have to say probably for the year. And then also I am a question asker. So I was asking the risky questions that nobody else wanted to ask because I had got to the mind frame where all these barriers are being put up that are hurting me and my team to do our jobs. It's making it harder to do the job. And then I was constantly getting prepared to the old way 2 years ago when I was hiring a lot of people. All those barriers weren't there. So mentally for me, I was just like, I used to do so well at this, what's the problem? And then I seen all these hurdles that are like, oh, we have this new process and this new process and this new process. But it all made our jobs a little bit harder every single time. And I had emotional breakdowns, mental breakdowns, because it was just stressful for me, because I've always done my job very, very well. I've never been in performance trouble ever. I'm trying to think in any of my jobs, because I always have done my job and done it well. But these hurdles got in my head, right? And the potential to be great outside of there got in my head. So I was working as hard as I could, probably at 95%. I wasn't at the 150% that I used to always work at. I was probably at 95% capacity, working as hard as I could to attempt to meet the numbers. So it's so interesting. 2019 has been so up and down, with such high highs and such low lows. It was also ironic to me that on Monday, which was my 1 year on YouTube, and I'm all exciting, is the day that I was let go, and all this stuff like plays together. That was the day. They called me into the office, and I was so calm. And I'll tell you this, it was so weird, because when I got to work that day, like 2 or 3 of my systems weren't working. Like things were not working for me, but I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together. And then I got called into the office, and then they told me, and then I was like so calm. And I was just like, okay. I was so mentally prepared that it didn't even shock me. I was so happy. I even told the VP, like, thank you. Thank you, because now I can be great. I felt in that moment that like now it has been released. I had a date in my head of when I planned on leaving anyway, but this just gave me the push. And God makes no mistakes. For me in my life, anytime I've reached like a point of greatness, it was from a hard push, a hard stop, a hard door slamming in my face. Like that is how I've been operating in the structure of my life, is that hard push pushes me to the next level of greatness. And this is no exception. This has been probably the most amazing thing that has happened to me this year so far, besides getting engaged, because I'm super excited about a wedding. This has been like so freeing, so relaxing. Now I can do what I want to do, which we're going to get into part 3, which is what am I going to do now? Now I'm going to be great. Now I'm going to grow my business. So I filed for the LLC. So the business is here. Okay. I am going to continue growing this YouTube channel. I am going to continue to help people save money. Already in the past 3.5 days, I've gotten confirmation from God that yes, this is what I should be doing. This is what I need to be doing. This is what I've been made to do. Okay. So 2 companies reached out to me to do paid deals. One person that I got the lovely chance to meet at Creative at Heart has reached out to me to do a collaboration. Okay. Also, I got an email today about setting up a call about another potential partnership, like with a bank. A bank who's interested in how my services could potentially help their clients. I celebrated my 1 year on YouTube with over 17,000 subscribers, with over 1 million views. 1 million views in a year. Like, that is insane. I am currently on pace in the month of August to make the most that I've ever made on YouTube. So all of these things that have been happening, like within my business, is just God saying like, you're on the right path. Everything's working. Like my email list has grown in like 3 weeks to over 500 people. I have over 70 people signed up for my free webinars that I'm hosting next week. So all of this amazing stuff has been happening to me in the past 3 days. It's all just confirmation that like what I'm planning to do and what I want to do is right on target with what God wants me to do. He's giving me those gentle nudges and those pushes to say, hey, this is what you needed, and now you've already set the foundation. Now let's run with it. What is Crystal gonna do, right? I wasn't devastated, right? I was so relieved. And you know, one thing that is really warming my heart is that so many people that I worked with, managers that I recruited with, HR personnel, co-workers are reaching out, and everyone has said, we are sad to see you go, but we know that God has a bigger plan for you. We know that bigger and better things are out there for you. So just to see that just to see that people saw that like I'm gonna do so much better outside of there, right? So I'm grateful for the experiences and the things that I learned while I was there, but now it's time for me to take my life, my business to the next level. Now, I was mentally and emotionally prepared to leave the 9-to-5, but I am not 100% financially there. I had plans to save up a few more months before my departure, right? So now I'm in a place where I gotta tell y'all what I plan to do in order to sustain my business and generate income. So I wrote notes here. So my number one thing that I'm gonna do is going to be to grow my YouTube. Okay, so I'm gonna grow my YouTube channel. More videos are coming, more content. I'm so excited to be able to really focus in on what I love, which is really helping people save money. I am going to be launching products and services. So in order for me to make a living, I will have to offer paid products, right? So t-shirts, more merchandise, but the biggest thing is gonna be courses. YouTube is absolutely amazing, but it can take days, weeks, hours to watch all the content. So I'm going to create courses specifically for people that are looking to take their savings to the next level. So courses are coming. Also, one-on-one extensive program. I'm working on that as well because I really want to be able to take you by the hand and show you that you can save money, you can shop with a purpose, and it doesn't have to be so overwhelming or so time consuming. So that is one product, one service that I'm really excited about because my passion is to help people save, okay? In-person events. So the Maximizer Conference is definitely coming in 2020, so stay tuned. And then also in-person couponing classes, both locally and maybe in other areas. So if you're interested in that, you got to email me so I know where to go, right? I want to do in-person events. I want to meet people and teach in front of people, right? Krys the Maximizer touring around excites me so much. I want to be able to help as many people as I can. And I have some other ideas around that as well, which I am developing. But just know I want to be in person and help as many people as I can. Online, of course, but in person, there's something magical about an in-person event, right? I also am dipping my toe in trading foreign currency. So video on that will be coming soon. Once I get in, once I get learning, once I understand, and once I start trading, I'm going to share the good, the bad, and the ugly with you all. If that's something that you would be interested in, it's something that I have been interested in for years, but was too scared to like take the leap to learn and take the leap to try. But now it's just like, what do I have to lose? Nothing. I've seen so many people be successful doing it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me try, see if it works for me, okay? And then I also still, like I said, I still like recruiting. So I've been recruiting some as well on the side. And then also grow my Patreon community. The more people that I can help affordably, the better. So growing that will be huge as far as the people, the reach that I have to help people. I really want to continue to do that as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Krys the Maximizer is just going to be multifaceted. I'm going to be working on a lot of things to A, help people, and then B, help myself earn some revenue, okay? So that is the 3 parts. If you are interested in supporting us, we appreciate it. There's a couple things you can do. First, like the video, subscribe to the channel, watch an ad. Watch any video, let the ads play. That's how I earn my money here on YouTube. You can join the Patreon for as low as $5 per month. You'll get live sessions from me, extra content, and access to edit my printable coupon breakdowns. You can purchase a t-shirt. I opened the site back up after the pre-orders. We still have some shirts left, so I wanted to go ahead and open the site back up. So shop KT Max is open if you're interested in purchasing one of our Maximizer t-shirts. We have adult and kid sizes. I also will leave some links down below if you just want to make a general in-kind donation. Kinsley and I would really appreciate any support. If there is any other questions, please comment those down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, supporting, being there for me. I know this video is like, oh my God. But yeah, I just want to thank you all again. You guys are awesome. I'm gonna put up here some of my most recent videos, especially my 1-year video. So again, check that out if you haven't already. Yeah, I'm still like in a little bit of a fuzz. Like, I can believe it happened, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? Am I really able to work on my business full time? My dreams have come true. Now I just gotta put the hard work in to really take myself to that next level, okay? So again, thank you guys so much for watching.
Stay tuned. Some of my most recent videos will be popping up here on the screen in just a second. I cannot thank you guys enough for your love and support. I cannot believe I got fired, and it has been the best thing that has happened to me thus far. I'm so excited for the future, for all the opportunities that I have to really go into my greatness. If you have questions, please comment those down below. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.